Hello everybody, I'm Peter Golob, and today I'm gonna be discussing Class 1B from My Hero Academia. Now, first thing, this is not just gonna be an anime focused thing and no manga. This is gonna be in their entirety. Also, I do not own any of images of Class 1B. Not the animated, not the manga versions. They are just used to give you the visual ideas. Now that's it, let's get on with this video. Now, first thing I'm gonna say about Class 1B is I hate Class 1B. Now, although some of you are gonna be saying, how could I hate Class 1B? Kendo and Tatsumaki are so entertaining and such good characters. And so many of them are in mystery and Naito's personality and all that. Yes, admittedly, for Tatsumaki, Kendo, and Naito, so far their characters would be entertaining and all that. But and the whole mystery factor, because we don't know how their personalities and how their quirks work for all of them exactly, good. But that's not really the biggest thing. Because if you really think about it, pretty much everyone could just be a characters like this. For example, Naito could simply be as a year 2 or year 3 student who complains about the first years. Kendo and Tatsumaki could legitimately just be some characters who are friends with the students or something. They didn't exactly have to be, specific in Class 1B. So the 3 main ones are kind of feeling a bit unnecessary, in my opinion. But these are basically, in my opinion, the things when people like the most about Class 1B. But the real reason why I hate them is not because of these characters and all that. It's because they constantly want to make them and constantly state that Class 1B is equal to Class 1A. Like, someone saying, how is that a fault? Well, let me explain to you how is that a fault. Like, let's look at this. Midoriya has a quirk that's incredibly hard to master, and he has beaten Muscular, overhauling his ultimate form, and that's by minimum what he has done. Then we have Bakugo, who has the power and the intelligence to be one of the best students. Then we have Todoroki, who has the power. Who has the train of a second pro hero and an extremely powerful quirk. And that's just the top 3 students. All of these 3 can take down a villain on their own. And the rest of the class, like Kirishima and Tokoyami, already could also beat villains who aren't a bunch of riffraffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if some other students could also. Like, seriously, some students like Soji and Jiro could probably also beat them if they had, if Jiro had a better outfit that could be used as a quirk, and Soji, we haven't seen him that much in combat, but it's possible. So basically, at least half the class in Class 1A can beat villains on their own. And we see what they do by being attacked by other villains and all that. But Class 1B students, they basically so far have only represent how well would the Class 1A do if they did not go into this whole shenanigans with villains and all that. And even so that's the case, they always feel like they always stay there basically equal. Like, let's show them why we're stronger, Naito says. Vladkin in the most recent chapter basically says, yes, let's crush that Class 1A. Which basically means that he's supporting the rivalry in which Class 1A just on themselves didn't even fucking want to focus on. Which is just serious. I feel like the rivalry should at least be returned, but still. Also, can someone please explain to me what the fuck are they supposed to be equal to? Because if you not even include Midora, Bakugo, and Shoto, Class 1A could still beat the fuck out of them. Like, some of them squirks don't even seem like they could be that useful in a one-on-one fight. Like, seriously, if the entire Class 1B and the entire class in 1A had like a straight-up fight, Class 1A would dominate them immediately in seconds. They're strong as, like, seriously, Tatsu, I am pretty sure he's like either one of the strongest or the strongest, and I am pretty sure Kirishima is stronger than him for a good chunk. And Kendo also. Now let's discuss all of their success. Now, the first real time they succeeded was in that whole thing where they had to decide if they're going to go to a training camp or remedial lessons. In Class 1A, only 5 students failed. Kirishima, Kaminari, Soto, Mina, and Saro. In Class 1B, only Nato failed. And I don't know if you know this, but Nato is like the only one from Class 1B who I would actually believe would pass these training measurements. Let me explain. You see, most other students seem to only be brawlers. Or at least they will always come down to just one-on-one fights. I mean, Kando, that beast, Tatsu, that little guy with silver hair. Most of Class 1B looks like they need to go to hand-to-hand combat to beat a villain. I mean, it's possible that girl that can switch her size could possibly do the whole Ant-Man shit, but so far I don't believe it was stated that she could, or something, or maybe she could, but still, I'm pretty sure she couldn't. Now, anyways, how the fuck did these kids were able to pass the teachers? And only one of them, the guy who everybody would think would have the best chance against the teachers, failed. Like, alright, maybe a couple of them, like the small shrinking girl, could possibly get so tiny, well, the beast guy distracts the hero and somehow doesn't get his ass kicked immediately, goes past it, or maybe some other things, but just how did they fucking pass? And it's just there to show that they are somehow better or equal. I mean, I really want to know, how the hell did all of these students beat the teachers and pass and only one guy failed? Okay, also, how did he fail? Was it because Sarah failed because he did practically nothing in the thing, and Nato failed even though I'm pretty sure he did something? You need to explain how that happened. Did Hirokoshi send and explain how? Because if he sent this, you need to tell me how this happened. Then the second time they basically do that is when they have these provisional license. All of Class 1B passed and 2 of Class 1A failed. Granted, the reason they failed was because, responding to civilians, emergencies, all that. And from what we could tell, it seems like Class 1B was in an advantage because, admittedly, none of them have these types of personalities that would make set minus points. And I'm pretty sure they were actually warned about that everyone other school wants to cross UA, so that's maybe the case. But still, how the hell did all 20 of them pass? I mean, how did that shrinking girl fucking pass? I mean, wait, she can change the outfit sizes. I guess that could be how, but still. How the hell did all of them freaking pass? I mean, how? And now let's talk about the new arc in which which is just stupid. 2 chapters have already come in, already am I facepalming myself. I'll show you it again. I'm gonna do it later. Alright, in this new arc, which I so far have no idea how it's called, leave it in the comments. Don't need to leave it in the comments to tell me how it's gonna be called. Just Class 1B and Class 1A are gonna fight. Good. I mean, I always want to see Class 1B fight Class 1A and to see what the fucking... It doesn't matter what you fucking say, Class 1B, you gotta lose big time to Class 1A. But instead of happening this, we have battles that would most likely just show how equal the classes are, even though they clearly aren't. And oh my god, the first 2 chapters did not help at all. Or at least the most recent one did not help at all. Like, seriously. Let me explain what happened. That Jubuto Shishida, that beast guy you can see, made a strategy by tricking Ibara Shiozaki by being a decoy. Well, he and Kosei Tsuburaba went to capture some of the students. Also, Hiro-Rim apparently held back for some reason, but that's besides the point. Their plan was that basically Class 1A would be distracted by trying to capture her because, well, to be fair, she is the biggest threat of all of them. So they will have an easy picking. And their plan just succeeded, probably even better than they expected it to. Let's just say Kosei Tsubara was captured and imprisoned and lost, while Jiroto was able to capture Koda and throw Kirishima to Ibara for her to capture him. Which means they eliminate the 2 people and Class 1A eliminated 1. It would be saying it's 3 and 2 now, but since that brainwashing kid is, I'm positive I can't remember his name, would be out there, but still. And they already have a strategy to capture Shisuno, I believe actually his name is. Yes, Shisuno. No, and then when they capture him, they could go for Kaminari because, well, he didn't exactly have the best presentation in the sports festival when he went up against Ibara. And he is the weak link. And they do consider him the weak link, even though Shisuno is supposed to be the weak link, but that's besides the point. Now, consider how it seems to be portraying forward. It seems to kind of be implied that they're gonna win. So I'm not gonna be completely pissed on that. But it's the other 4 matches that are making me super pissed. Alright, let's look at this. Kendo, a mushroom girl, the completely black guy, and the manga guy gonna be facing Tokoyami, Hagakure, Momo, and Oriyama. Then Tatsu, that completely bland guy, the girl with horns, and the guy I can't even remember. Seriously. Oh, wait, no, I'm not even gonna focus on that. I'm gonna be facing Shoto, Ojiro, Soji, and Lida. And the 4 teams gonna be that weird cypher looking dude, that green haired girl, that guy who did something during the that training camp to help, that blue guy. I'm gonna be facing Bakugo, Jiro, Saro, and Sato. And the final ones are gonna be Naito, that shrinking girl, that kid who had the same moles as Ojiro, and that ghost girl first, Minata, Mina, Ochako, and Midoriya, with Shizno fighting for Class 1B because of the whole getting him in something physical experience. Now, considering how these things traditionally go, and this, I might be wrong about it, maybe they aren't gonna do that, it's very likely that both of the final one's gonna have both of it to equal. So it's gonna be 2 and 2. Which I really not. And you gotta ask me, but if they can win the first one, why would they win the other three? Why would they win the... Which one of the other three could they win? Because merely the first one, they have the biggest amount of power behind them. Well, let me tell you how. They're gonna use somehow their superior intelligence to beat, I don't know, Bakugo's team and maybe Momo's. I mean, I could see that kind of happening. So, I'm gonna say they're gonna win the second and the fourth one. Because if they actually beat Shoto, I can see a lot of the fan base get very upset with that. Now, admittedly, in My Academia does try to swap some things and all that, and not exactly doing traditional, so it's possible that Class 1A defeats Class 1B completely like they should have. But come on, they're probably gonna do it somehow, a way they could find a way for Class 1B to win. I mean, considering the Beast guy was such a big victory for Class 1B, and consider the fact they seem to be completely devoted to beating Class 1A, it's very possible. But still, I very hate this stupid idea. Like, really. Just, it's probably going to, I mean, the reason why I feel like they're gonna do that is because they wanna keep hammering it in that Class 1B is supposed to be equal. Even though the basic story idea so far for me at least seems to be, this is how Class 1A would look like, and the results would be if they didn't go up against the League of Villains and every other villain. Which is admittedly pretty stupid if you come to think about it, and consider the fact that, again, I'm pretty sure half of the Class 1A could at least beat villains, but still. Now, it's just a stupid situation. I mean, I cannot wait to see how they're going to try to look badass, like, unless if they're gonna try to make stuff like, I don't know, unless if they're gonna try to make Sato, Jiro, and Saro some kind of a character boost, because Jiro seems to be a character who is very, not exactly, is kind of self-conscious about being a hero, and Sato needs some character development. And Saro, just because he's not exactly the strongest members of the class, that could just be a thing, they might do that, but still. I very hope that Class 1A just shows them that we don't care how much better your results are in tests, we can fucking beat all of you. Because I really don't want to see Class 1B winning, because so far I just find them pointless, and just making every other character from the underutilized in Class 1A feel wasted. Seriously. Sato, Jiro, Hagakure, and Mina and Koda? Well, guess what? Those five would probably have better characters if we wouldn't focus on Nero, Tatsu, and Kendo. But that's anyway just my opinion. let's just say I really am not looking up to this arc when it's gonna come to the other battles, because I very don't believe that Class 1B could beat Class 1A in any other way, except they're gonna shoot him their intelligence is better. If that's their explanation why they win, it's just gonna be insulting, because I'm pretty sure the top 5 of Class 1A are a lot smarter than the smartest from Class 1B. Now, I hope you like this video. I hope you're gonna leave a like, subscribe to my channel for more videos in the future. And tell me in the comments below, what do you think about Class 1B for My Hero Academia? And tell me what do you think is gonna happen in the upcoming chapters. And I cannot wait to see other people next time. Bye.